through a user interface. So you have this window with lots of different tools, you can do a lot of things, you can create your levels. It is a tool provided by the game engine. So this whole package is a game engine. So examples like the CryEngine, the Unreal Engine, which is used in Unreal and pretty much a lot of new games. The Source Engine, as we just talked about. These are, I would say, the high-end engines. Very, very expensive, used for large projects, very, very complex pieces of code. Apart from that, you also have Unity, if you've heard of Unity as an engine. Smaller, cheaper ones, which smaller studios or smaller companies can use. Torque, again, similar concepts. They want to focus on a different market, but they are also game engines. They provide you the same set of tools, they provide you with similar sets of functionality. So what are the different components of a game engine? You have graphics, obviously graphics need to be shown on the screen. Your 2D graphics, 3D graphics, all of that. This whole component is actually called a renderer, a graphics renderer. 2D, 3D, doesn't matter. But some part of the engine, some part of the code which is dedicated or performs the one function of showing graphics on the screen. So a graphics renderer. You have your animation system. Now you can define animations in Max or Maya or any of these packages. You say, okay, this is my character and these are the different frames that he's going to walk or run or whatever. Now this data needs to be translated into something which the game engine can understand. And then what usually happens is you define a walk cycle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 frames, for example. And then these frames come into the engine and the animation system inside the engine plays that. So when I first launched the game, I start walking in GTA. I'm walking. If I want to run, my animation changes. So this is the animation system which is actually making sure that the right animations, the correct animations are played at the correct time. Making sure that they run. Issues like it should be a smooth blend. I'm walking like that and suddenly if I start running in a completely different way, it's not going to look smooth. So you have to make sure it's a smooth blend. So a lot of complexities come into this system. So that's one system. Then you have something called as a scene graph. Very crucial concept to understand from a programming perspective, very, very crucial. A scene graph is something which knows about all the objects in your game world. So in the previous game that we saw in the video, you had a whole city. You had hundreds of players, lots of cars, a lot of props, a lot of objects in the scene. So not just the scene, but the entire world. Even though it's not being shown on the screen, that whole world exists on the server. So some part of the program which understands what is where, what is the state of each object, making sure that I know about all the objects, is the scene graph. Why is this required? Say suppose I shoot somebody. I shoot somebody, but how does that person know, or if you look at it from the code perspective, how does that object know that he's dead? It is a scene graph which tells it on a very basic level. So it is the manager of the entire world. Very, very crucial. And this has to be very, very fast. You can't expect to shoot somebody and the scene graph is taking 2 seconds and then he tells you that you died. Purpose is lost of the whole game. So it has to be very, very fast, optimized, very crucial. Physics. Collisions in physics are very, very important part of any game. Collisions like I'm walking, I touch this, I stop. Collision detection and then collision response. Should I move back? Should I do this? Should I do that? If I get hit by a car, what? I can just stand there. A car comes, khachak. In the video that you saw, the guy flies off. The flying off is a response. So collision detection, के collide हुआ है, उसके बाद response. What should be done after that? So in that earlier video, the response would have been calculate the speed of the vehicle, the direction and everything, and accordingly throw this guy up there. Apply those forces onto this character and then throw it. So this was the response. Apart from this, collisions could also mean I'm holding something. Holding is also a collision. Like when I'm holding a gun, the gun could be like this also. Where to place it is the response. So Apart from this, physics could also involve projectiles. You're shooting, your bullet has to travel at the correct speed, your cars flying off of bomb blasts. Everything is defined by the physics system. How these objects are going to interact with the environment. Then you have networking in a large game. So a lot of you must be playing LAN games. Networking, making sure that the data goes across from each computer to the other, very, very important. If there's a lag, gaya. I mean, the entire fun is gone. Think of this, on a LAN, this happens quite a lot of times, but on servers which are situated maybe in the US or something, there's a lot of distance that has to be traveled by the data. So networking is very, very crucial, especially for MMOGs. Massively multiplayer online games are completely right now throttled by the bandwidth available. So how can you compress the data? How can you make sure that the data goes really quickly? I can get back the data very quickly, making sure that the data actually reaches that computer. I'm playing out here and you don't see me on the screen. That is because the data is not going to you. Making sure that the data goes there. Something which is defined by the networking subsystem. AI. Every game nowadays you have some AI component. It could be your first-person shooters which define the AI as the actual enemy characters. How do they move? When do they attack? What should they be doing? What do they do when they shoot? When you shoot them once, should they run away or should they just stay there and keep taking more bullets? All of this system is defined by the AI. So AI is pretty much whatever the player is not controlling, everything else that is interacting with the player is controlled by the AI. It could be Need for Speed, for example. It could be the other car. What is making sure that you bumped it once and he'll be like, take it, now I'll bump you. So making that entity think is the AI system. Audio. The video that we just saw, it would have looked very, very nice. But without that audio in the background, a lot of effect is lost. You shoot somebody and you have like maybe a missile launcher, and if you just do like a put sound, it's not going to work. So understanding what, and also a lot of times like on YouTube videos when you see, audio is out of sync with the video. So that is again very, very wrong. So making sure that audio plays correctly, the sound quality is really good. It gives you, if you have capable speakers, it gives you the Dolby surround sound effect or whatever else. All of this is controlled by the audio subsystem.